Well, hi everyone. My name is Lindsay Hampson, and this video is all about what is sustainability consulting. We're going to cover a couple of things, but first, hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm the president of This Rock Inc. We're a sustainability consulting firm, hence the name of this video. So let's get into it. Usually, people look or think about hiring a sustainability consultant when they realize that their large customers are demanding or asking for things that nobody on staff typically knows how to do. So, this could be writing an environmental policy, it could be attaining or getting some kind of sustainability certification or carbon certification, for example. So, if this kind of sounds like you, this video might be for you. I'm going to cover some good case studies of working with a sustainability consultant. I'll cover typically what happens when you work with them, and then we'll talk about what do they do? What can they do? They could even end by teaching your staff how to do things, and then you can take it from there. A sustainability consultant sounds very fancy, but basically, it's a third party vendor that knows how to do certain things to do with energy consumption, maybe, or it could be setting scope 1 and 2 targets, for example. It could also be talking about social impact, thinking about harassment, working conditions, child labor, that kind of thing, and even governance. So, ethics, code of conduct. So, when we think about what sustainability means in the modern business world, it really covers about 17 key themes. Number one is they audit and assess where you currently are today. So, again, big customers asking you for a sustainability certification, for example. Well, a sustainability consultant will figure out what policies do you have today and what pieces of these key issues are you missing. So maybe you have an awesome employee handbook and an ethics code. Great. Maybe you have nothing written down about the environment yet. So that's where they can help. Or maybe they can enhance some of your current employee documents to include things like working hours, overtime, health and safety, harassment, discrimination, and so on. So, number one is audit and assess. They typically will also look at the numbers. The next is strategic planning. So, that means, maybe this year we have to get over the initial hump, and maybe next year that's when we're going to figure out how to set our targets, or that's how we're going to figure out how to do SBTi, Science Based Target Initiative, for example. So, they're going to build the roadmap, right? Number three is operational transformation. This is the fun part, in my opinion. That is not only now do we know the benchmark of your numbers across energy consumption, water, waste, for example, but let's figure out how to get better at this. So maybe we can start switching out lights for LEDs, or we can figure out the next time you buy a machine, if you're a manufacturer, it's more energy efficient. Maybe we talk about solar panels. Maybe we talk about not throwing things away, but reusing them. See, these are all operational efficiency areas. Then we're definitely going to talk about governance and reporting. So, how do you get this stuff down? How do you not greenwash? How do you educate? How do you put a process in place? Then it is stakeholder engagement, which is maybe one of the most fun parts, and that is educating your employees. So, making sure they understand what sustainability means, making sure they understand what it means to your company, where you are today, where you're going to go, and so on. And then finally, it's continuous improvement. So, great, we're doing it this year. What are we doing next year? Are we ahead? Are we behind of our goals? And what can we do to truly make a positive impact on people and planet? I really want to hit it home. We are not just writing policies and then putting them on a shelf. We're actually implementing things to save you money, to reduce your impact, to gain efficiencies, reduce costs. So when we look at your energy consumption for a baseline year, let's say last year, then you better believe we're also figuring out ways that maybe you can reduce that year over year. So that's dollars at the end of the day, but that's also just getting more efficient with your money. First example, they have in-house consultants, but they also hire external people that know specific topics. So a really good one we wanted to talk about was the circular economy. So IKEA wanted to integrate sustainability more deeply with how they have their products, or reduce their products, how they source it, overall, their business strategy, tied obviously to people's their reputation, but also people's efficiency of their products. So the solution was they collaborated with sustainability consultants in this particular life cycle management area. This included shifting towards sustainable materials. You might see that when you go to IKEA, for example. This could also be designing products that can come apart that are modules. So you don't have to buy the whole new couch if something happens, but you can buy just a component. It's pretty cool. They also get recycled at the end of life. They have a take back program and so on. You've definitely heard of this company before. They employed or hired a sustainability consulting team to talk specifically about this worn wear program. You might have heard of it. Definitely they're known for their commitment to sustainability, but they really got someone to help them deep dive into a particular area about repairing, reusing, and recycling Patagonia stuff like their beautiful sweaters and hats and so on. So consultants help Patagonia improve waste management, resource consumption, and so on. They also help them integrate new sustainability materials into their products. So in this case, they weren't writing environmental policies. They were getting their hands dirty, rolled up sleeves, figuring out how to do worn wear properly. All right, last one is Unilever. Again, they partnered with a sustainability consultant to drive sustainable sourcing, which is becoming a thing. Sustainable procurement, sustainable sourcing. So their challenge was they wanted to improve sustainability in their supply chain, particularly for raw materials. So here's what they did. They worked with sustainability consultants to develop a comprehensive sustainable sourcing program. So, they made a chart. They decided what are the things they need to have in a raw material supplier. And they got really specific about their goals. For example, 100% of these companies need to be XYZ certified, for example. So an example would be 100% sustainable palm oil sourcing is all that they said they would do going forward. So the results were by collaborating with people who knew what they were talking about, very specific in sourcing, they were able to significantly improve their sourcing practices, making sure that they were walking the walk and not just talking the talks. I really like how some of my clients have done it, where they reach out to somebody like me and maybe a few other sustainability consultants, and they define what their goals are before they even start. So what are we looking for? Who's asking us for what? Then two, they identify the right type of sustainability consultant. Maybe they need someone that's really heavy in energy management certification. Maybe they need an expert in EcoVadis consultation. So they're looking for a partner that's been approved by EcoVadis. So then they'll meet with potential consultants. Again, 1, 2, 3, whatever you like to see. Have quick calls with them, show them what you're looking for, and let them kind of propose back in detail what you're looking for. Create a clear scope of work is the next one. Collaborate and engage with the consultant. Bring on some of your team members to meet them, because you have to also jive with them, because they're going to become kind of fractionally part of your team as you're doing sustainability. Then you're going to implement their recommendations. You're going to evaluate the impact. And finally, you're going to consider ongoing engagement, a long-term relationship, or maybe you're going to pull it in-house. They're acting like a ramp for you to then hire your first sustainability person. So these are typically the steps to engage with somebody. My opinion is pick somebody that you know you can work well with, that you can trust, because they're going to be looking at so much of your information. They're going to be talking to your employees, and they're going to be representing your company going forward. So pick a good one. All right, so we went through a lot. What is sustainability consulting? What to look for in a sustainability consultant? What do they do? How can they help you? Maybe where you can take it from after they're done, and even a couple of case studies. I know from my perspective, we've worked with over 40 businesses, most of which didn't have anything to do with sustainability cooking yet. So we helped them write policies. We helped them do some baseline data gathering. And then we educated their team. We educated all their employees. Maybe we wrote their first sustainability reports, and we started target setting. And we even submitted for some kind of certification or rating. And then the coolest thing is to see those same clients in year 2 or year 3 really progressing and maybe some scoring, or just what they're doing, or getting more employee engagement through sustainability committees. It's pretty sweet. So if you're considering looking at a sustainability consultant, I hope this video was helpful in teaching you what it is. And good luck out there as you research some options in your local area or for a particular certification that your company needs. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My name is Lindsay Hampson, and we're available at thisrockesg.com. Thank you so much, and have a great week.